Hi everyone, it's Greg Murphy here. This weekend is the third round of the Repco Supercars Championship coming to you from Taupo Motorsport Park. It is the ITM Taupo Super 440 and this is the Repco Rundown. So as we know, this is the second event at Taupo for Supercars. Last year the inaugural event went off. It was a huge hit, as you would expect, after a year's hiatus between Pukekohe, the finish of Pukekohe, and then putting things together for Taupo. Huge crowds in attendance, and we're expecting another bumper crowd in 2025. Even the weather last year was pretty interesting. We had a wet race on the Saturday, which definitely spiced things up a fair bit. This is massive in New Zealand. Supercars is huge, we know that. It's like our sort of mini Bathurst 1000, and people just love attending these events, and they love muscle cars, they love supercars. The track at Taupo, 3.3 kilometres long. Interesting technical racetrack, very, very hard to set a race car up for. There's multiple different surfaces as well, and a multitude of different sort of corners, fast corners, slow corners, corners with not a lot of grip, corners with a lot of grip. So teams have their work cut out for them to get those cars set up just correctly. And last year we did see quite a lot of tyre dig as well. So teams will be aware of that this year. It's a different format as well for 2025. We've got two 120k races on the Saturday and a 200k race on the Sunday. So plenty of supercars action for the fans to enjoy. Big Kiwi contingent, as we know. 5 Kiwis driving in the championship. 2 at BJR, they're Jackson Evans and Andre Heimgartner. We've got Matt Payne at Penrite Racing. We've got Richie Stanaway at Premier and Ryan Wood at WAU. And they will all be vying for the coveted Jason Richards Memorial Trophy that Anton De Pasquale actually took out last year with a couple of third places. So lots of racing to be had, and everyone looking to try and get that fantastic trophy. So who are the contenders? Who is going to take out that Jason Richards Memorial Trophy and stamp some authority on this championship? We obviously saw Cam Waters at the first round in Sydney dominate. 3 pole positions, 3 race wins. He went away from that with the points lead at the end of that weekend. And then we go to Melbourne, which just again threw in some absolutely brilliant racing, some real dog fights going on throughout the field for the 3 races we got. Remember, the last one was cancelled because of the wet weather. Brock Feeney, he dominated qualifying and looked like he was going to actually have a very strong weekend with some race wins, but he only came away with 1, as did his teammate Will Brown, which at the end of it, once it all cycled through, Will Brown ended up leaving with the points lead after Melbourne and goes in as our leader into Taupo this weekend. Red Bull looks strong, as they always do, very consistent, and they just chip away at that championship. But there are plenty of contenders. DJR, Brody Kostecki, in there for the first time this year, and looking like he is really starting to make some inroads with that Mustang, the DJR Mustang. Will Davison there in good support as well. From there, WAU, Ryan Wood and Chaz Mostert again looking like they've got some good speed, but just not quite able to string it together to get the results that they would be looking for. Penrite Racing, Matt Payne, again looking very strong. Is he going to be able to show some authority this weekend in Taupo and stamp his name as the Kiwi to beat? Also, you can't forget what happened in Melbourne. Cam Hill getting his first win in the Repco Supercars Championship of his career. MSR looking very strong. That's 2 years in a row they've showed great pace at the Melbourne GP circuit. Can they continue to bring that along this weekend? And of course, Tickford, Cam Waters will not want to be thinking too much about what happened in the first race in Taupo last year. On the pole position, didn't get a good start, and his race was over pretty much before it began. So the speed is there at Tickford, and the speed is there definitely with Cam Waters and also Thomas Randall showing good speed, but they're going to need to find that consistency and start laying down those results in consistent fashion. Right, so who's a bit of a smoky for the weekend? Someone that I reckon is due to do something pretty impressive, and I'm going to say that's Richie Stanaway. The Kiwi knows how to get around the Taupo racetrack, was pretty strong last year, certainly in the wet conditions. We know he's a bit of a rain master, but I think it's time that all came together for him and he started to put some runs on the board. It hasn't been a great start to the year for Richie. So good luck to all the Kiwis. Now, if you are coming to the event on the weekend and really, why wouldn't you be? Repco are going large in the activation side of things off the track. So come along and visit the team in the merchandise area. You can win lots of prizes, and there's a few little competitions to be had. And also Gary Reid, the famous Gary Reid, he has imported the Repco C10 pickup truck for the weekend to do some displays in. So I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of round rubber black things left lying around on the racetrack after he's finished with it. Now, for all you Australians that weren't able to get across the ditch to come to this event and watch it live, well, obviously no problem. You can watch all the coverage live on Fox and on KO. And likewise in New Zealand, if you couldn't make it down to the event this weekend, then it's going to be on Sky TV. And if you want some more updates, then just follow Repco using all your normal social media channels. Have a great one.